I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either. You're gonna try to get me drunk and take me back home? No. We are doing dinner.
I've been like crying the entire day. And you know, people say like, oh, you're not alone, this happens to so many women, but I mean, it feels very alone. Lonely.
You see, she's yet another victim of the feminist propaganda machine that she herself is actually guilty of participating in.
Did you hear how confident she was at the beginning? She deluded herself. She thought she had all these options to the point where she thinks she could say that sort of ridiculous statement, not realizing that the reality was going to hit her hard and very, very quickly. She's now devastated. She has no skin in the game. She has no options. She has no leverage. I think she met a guy in the end, which is you know, good for her and good for him. He's obviously very tolerant. I don't think it's going to work out because we've been brainwashed for so long with such a degenerate movement that is feminism. And when you drink the Kool-Aid, it doesn't work out. Of course, hope I'm wrong, but that's how deluded she was at the beginning. Now reality has hit her hard. Her content is very misandrist, and now she's in a position where she has no leverage. And if it doesn't work out with her current, I think she got married. If it doesn't work out, I very much doubt she's going to meet a man who will put up with her. It's not a high value man by any means. It's just a nice average man, clearly cares for her, has a good job, and I hope that it works out. But this is what happens: play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This is what happens when you buy into these degenerate Western cults. It's a shame. She's an attractive woman, but she bought into the 1960s feminist propaganda that's dragged into now 2025. And it's become her reality, and now she realizes it's too late now, but her eggs are basically fried. This is, again, and I've seen this. I've been away for 10 years because it happens here as well. This sort of feminist degeneracy is everywhere. It starts early 20s, and people who buy into this, they end up the same. 30 plus years old, still single, waiting for Superman to come along, and unfortunately, their reality is very clouded by the fairy tale that they've created in their head. And I've tried to educate certain women on this, but they'd rather live in this fairy tale. And it's so sad when eventually these women, I mean, this woman particularly, her content is very misandrist, so I don't care about this woman, but it's very sad that other women have bought into this and probably followed her footsteps, and they too have or will end up in the same position as her. She bought into the propaganda, she drank the Kool-Aid, and now she can never have a kid. And she's very, very lucky to find a man who doesn't want kids. Maybe I don't know the full story, but she doesn't have the leverage anymore, and never will. She can't give a man kids. Now again, I hope that this guy, he's obviously very tolerant. I hope that he realized he made a good choice. Herself, I think she got lucky. Her, I don't really care about. When you put out misandrist content that basically shames men, it's a perfect example of what happens when you buy into this crap, when you buy into degenerate cults, and unfortunately, she's devastated. Look, she may never have kids. By the sound of it, it definitely she will never be able to have kids. Again, I don't know fully how it works, but this is all because she drank the Kool-Aid and bought into these cults, and this is what's going to happen to so many women if they're not careful. So this is why the passport bros exist. You don't get this sort of attitude by and large abroad. It's unfortunately spreading, but this is why we exist, and this is something that needs to be spoken about, something people need to speak up about, this sort of thing. If not, you're going to end up in the exact same position as this woman who thought she had leverage. Did you hear how deluded she was? Did you hear how deluded she was at the beginning of the video? She thought she could have all these requirements, and now she's ended up not being able to have kids. She waited too long, luckily found a man. I hope that obviously it works out. Well, it's probably not. With a lot of these cases with these women, their delusion, their lack of desire to make a relationship work fails a lot, so you end up with high divorce rates in the West a lot of the time because of this sort of attitude behavior. So I hope that he vetted her right, and I hope that she humbles herself to the fact that she has an opportunity now to build a life with a man who's clearly a tolerant, nice, average man who cares for her dearly, and that's hopefully just going to be the outcome. And well, like I said, she no longer has leverage, And the same women who buy into this have the same results. And it's sad to see. Her, no, because of the misandrist content. It's nothing no one I have sympathy for. But it's for other women who buy into this. This is what we need to look out for. And passport bros or gents, this is what you got to deal with. This is what you got to deal with. This one got humbled. Eventually, all women do. Who think like this anyway. There's plenty of good women that, of course, and I'm not saying everyone, but it happens a lot. And this is what happens. Play stupid games, put out misandrist content, win stupid prizes.